Hey everyone, this is Tracy Lewis with Color Me This. Today is the Daily Color episode 154. We are working on the rainbow shelf. I have done a little prep work, as you can see. I took the Winsor & Newton India ink to the wood grain and the rainbow lines to soften them. And we're going to get started. I am using the Kalour 180 full color barrels. This is what they look like. I do also have the, did I say full color barrels? This is the black barrel. And they are identical in color, name and number to the 180 color barrel. There's a big difference, and I actually feel that they color a little differently because of the difference, and that is the size of the core. This is a 3.8 millimeter core, and the full color barrel is a 3.3 millimeter barrel. So they are different enough that I am very happy that I got them, and I knew I wanted to see for myself what the differences were between the two. So ironically, as I get coloring here with my red 006, the rainbow colors varies on a real rainbow. Somebody posted an image of a rainbow, a double rainbow, yesterday here at our community on the golf course, and one of them, I'm doing the one that was the main rainbow, and it started with red and then went orange yellow. Ironically, the outer softer rainbow had different rainbow colors, and I meant to do a little research before starting this filming with you guys so I could explain the science behind that, but I did not. But suffice to say, the colors do vary on rainbows in the real world, which means I can make my rainbows any color combinations that I want and not feel like I am guilty of doing something wrong. Next color is orange 008. One of the things I like about the Kalour sets, their color names are pretty straightforward. They're a beautiful, vibrant pencil. Supposedly between the two, there's supposed to be some wax-based versus oil-based, and I haven't really investigated that too much. I feel that the Kalours are a very soft, no matter what kind they are. They are soft and feel more waxish to me than my traditional feeling oil pencils. I have my brushes here somewhere. I got it because I know that these Kalours, as you can see, one of their things they do is they do create a lot of crumbs. Similar to Castle Arts, which also creates a lot of crumbs. I'm moving right along to the yellow, which is Canary Yellow 004. Ironically, with Canary Yellow 0 being number 4, that is a very common number for amongst many of the brands, having a 004 and having it be called Canary Yellow. So I don't know who decided that that was the standard that everybody would follow, but they tend to do so. All right. I will be doing a little erasing there, or swiping away the crumbs. And go right into the green, grass green 144. So this is India ink for the white. I do feel that like this green is going down a little bit different than I would expect. That there is some puckering and buckling a little bit of the paper, so it's no longer as smooth as the natural paper is. You can see right here. So being that India ink is a fairly new tool for me to use, I am experimenting with it where I can. Moving along to the blue. The blue I grabbed for today is 122. Royal blue. I played around a little bit with the different shadow options for this shelf, and interestingly enough, having the shadow here in the upper right is not as useful the way the image was built by the creator, Johanna Basford. It seems like it would be easier to get the lights and shadows if I were to put the light source up here in the upper left. I would have a whole bunch of opportunities because this roof is in front of that roof. This would be a lovely shadow. Down here, this little nook would be a lovely shadow. Right here is a lovely shadow. These, I'm assuming that as a paper crafter, that these are scraps of paper just put behind some sort of a play castle with a pretend rainbow, and that these are all clouds hanging on a string, and these are 3 bushes. So that is what I'm rolling with. I am still going to stick to the direction I had talked about for the other 4 shelves. I don't want to mess with it, even though I do think the moving the light source from the upper right to the upper left would suit this image better. All right, we've got 2 colors left. I'm moving on to purple. Purple 065. See, no nonsense. Nice, big, easy to read numbers, easy to read letters. This is like my favorite set for font. Easy, easy peasy. I really like it. So everybody saw the post where I had to take pretty much all of last week off, and then in the last day on the weekend I was able to get the last bonsai tree done. This week has been a little bit better, but this week was today I had to go get a scan, so hopefully next week I will hear something. I have 2 doctor appointments and we'll get this thing figured out. It's been quite a while since I've had, many years since I've had something come up that was like, the doctor is going to see this. Most of the time everything is minor. All right, so now the last color is pink 048. I am curious because this is something that happens to me a couple times a year, but never in the severity that it just happened to happen. I was actually already scheduled for my annual wellness exam, and whenever this rare thing happens to me, Hub always gets on my case about getting it checked out. So when I said I don't think I can make the appointment, I just feel too sick, He's like, nope, you are going to this appointment. We need to figure this out. So I kind of knew the writing was on the wall when I was having this flare-up thing, that I wasn't going to get out of having the doctor see it in its true form. So that is what I envisioned the rainbow looking like. There's only, like, I don't mind a couple of the little hints of the lines. I just didn't want there to be harsh, dark lines. I kind of wanted it to look more naturally rainbow-esque. I wouldn't mind those being gone, but being that this is a practice piece and I'm working with this new ink medium, so the blue and the purple are a little bit problematic, and then that green right there. So that is interesting. We get to work on the shelf, and I'll do the shelf next. Yeah, there's some resistance to this purple. And that's very interesting. But I do like how the colors blend into the next color pretty naturally, which was my goal. I haven't even really double checked that I'm in focus. Let me do a quick check. So if it wasn't all the way in focus, it should be now. And this is the pink. See, look at that right there. Interesting. It's all just a big experimental coloring book. All right, so I was able to cover that back up. But I can't get that to color in. Interesting. I do have some of the bleed-proof P.H. Martin. Is it Dr. P.H. Martin? That is coming. I did buy it from Amazon, but it has a slow ship date. All right, so I am looking for my other brown. Nope, that is not brown. All right, I have the color brown. See, simple, no-nonsense colors. And Beastry, 74 and 113. So I am going to do some horizontal trying to stay in the lines. I did not pull out like a tan. So we will see if I need to grab a third color for this, because this was my other interesting little test. When I'm doing wood, like a gnarled wood root or a wreath, the pencil set that I think ironically does a fabulous job are my Praying 50s. I have, you know, like a light brown, a medium brown, and a dark brown, and I can get 3 to 4 tones going on a wreath, and the variation in the colors is just really easy to do. It's one of those things that set just does really well, and I have just the 50 set. So trying to keep some differentiating of the lines. I do have my sharpener right here. All right, that's coming along. I did spend a little time getting ready for the final shelf, which is going to be done with the Pablos. So we will see if I get enough done on this to move on to that last shelf. Lots of crumbs. Okay, got my brush. A hard oil pencil makes nice work of wood, which is why I think the prangs do a nice job. Okay, I am going to see a couple of areas that could use just a nice burnish. I am going to shift gears to the background. It ends up that so far the only one that I didn't do a background on was the, was the snow globe shelf, and I may be going back to fill that in. So I am doing a sky blue, pale blue 178, these are a lovely, quiet, buttery smooth feeling pencil. Which I enjoy greatly. yesterday after I worked on the glass jars. I did go back. I smoothed out the background with, first I did a little more of the color, which was a blue, was cloud blue, using the Artex. Then I have a Prismacolor blending pencil that just sits there at my desk. So I did a little blending that way, and I really like how it came out. I'm going to brush off to get the camera out of the way. I'm just going to leave that there because I do have my shadows to put in. I do have a white. I'm going to get the white ready. I only chose one green, and I'm going to do these green bushes. But they're so small, I don't want to worry about having to get blending colors. I envision this somewhat of a youthful shelf with the castle and the rainbow. And see, this could be clouds too. I'm like, well, you've got the one over here that is like the cloud in front of, the shrub in front of the house. But then over here it could be clouds. So I am just making the decision that it is going to be shrubbery. I'm bringing out this white. I'm going to play with it. See if I can smooth out some of these. Funky colors between it's mainly the purple that I am having issues with. The house or castle roofs are going to also be brown, but before I grab browns to work on that, the windows will be lighted. I really like that treatment. I have 3 grays to do my shadows. Browns for the roof. This is the dark brown. It is called Beaster 113. Back to the regular old brown, 74. I have to get that cardstock colored in. I believe I am going to trying to decide. All right, I'm going to use, I don't want it too dark, so I'm going to do this polka dot one. The main paper color will be red. I am going to make this piece of paper orange. This is heavy pressure. These are a heavy pressure feeling pencil to me. I went over the line there. I will have to fix that. Polka dots are going to be yellow. Oh, I have that, and I see something on the orange I missed. This piece of cardstock goes all the way through to right here. I have a door. Make this very dark. The lighter brown can be these two pieces. All right, I've got clouds and shadows. So this is light gray 125. Doing a little bit of light shading there. I've got the dark gray now. Let's see what color that is. Slate gray. Okay, little shadows. Oop, I see a crumb at the tip. Okay, brush. So for this one, I am tempted to not put any white gel pen on. I used white gel pen on all of the others. And like I said, because the light source I have coming from the right side, it's not as interesting, I guess. So I don't want to like overdo it and make it more interesting than it really is. So I think I'm going to leave it just like that. And I'm going to just move on to our Pablo shelf. So the Pablo shelf is right here. I'm going to refocus. Rotate my Lazy Susan around to our Pablo mix. I am starting with the moon, which is going to be light lemon yellow, 241. I will have all of the colors used today on the description of the video. That does not look focused to me. Hopefully that is better. Okay, so our light source is upper right. I mean upper left. We will keep that in mind. I have a blend of green. They are close by, so I'm grabbing them now. Veronese green is the lightest, 201. These are harder to read, of course, because it's gold. Empire green, 290. And dark green, 229. So the Pablos are a dry, sort of chalky feeling. I believe they are wax based. But I actually do really like them. So my napkin, as you can see, is green. Hopefully when I get the other pieces it'll make some sense. So this is an ombre kerchief on the shelf. Okay. I have red. I don't have much red. I'm just using the red for this little tiny bunny heart. Oh, I am also using a little bit of red here on these flags. I might even go ahead and do a little red on the crown there. I have blues. Now the blues, oops, and that, whatever color that was, just slipped down, but it is not blue. So I'm going to go ahead and work on, I am working on the balloon. It's going to be, rather than typical, which is bright stripes and sections, I am going to ombre it for fun. See how we can do at a blue ombre. Okay, I have to see why my thing went dark. Oops. I'm going to pause because I think I might be out of juice. I was almost out. Okay, I'm at 44 minutes, but I'm going to continue to color the balloon, which I'm doing ombre. We'll see how I can do with these Pablos on this smooth surface. This isn't the type of surface I would use them on for a pet portrait. So we'll see how well I can ombre it. I noticed last week with the 4 bonsai trees that I ended up going over significantly. So today I tried to err on the side of not as long, kind of balance it out. But I really wanted to get this done today. Darker. I didn't show you those blues. Light blue, 161. And then I did blue, that I cannot read, 260. Prussian blue is what I'm going to use next, 159. Going back to the little bit lighter color. I'm working on light layers to get a very smooth transition. That is my goal. Gonna move back up to the Prussian blue. Make sure that's it. Yep. I do want these to appear scalloped. Going back to the lightest color. I can actually hear these. They are noisier than the Kalours. Moving on to regular old blue, 260. Again, this is the back of the balloon, the shadowed side, so I will come back through and darken it up. With grays. And then up here, this is the sun bright side. Okay, I have to smooth this out. Yeah, with a lighter color, back to light blue. Okay. Dark blue again. Prussian blue, 159. Again, I'm trying to give it the scalloped somewhat look. And I will stop and we will finish this tomorrow. It's hard to believe this little tiny balloon took all that time. All right, so on my own time today, I will be doing the sky with a wall. And the wall is going to be a night sky color. It's going to be indigo. So you guys will see that completed tomorrow, and then we'll continue on finishing the rest of the elements for the final shelf. All right, so that is where we're at. Do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And we will meet back here tomorrow to finish this shelf off. It will probably be our last coloring for the week. And then tomorrow I will share what we're going to work on next week. The color that I will be putting down on the wall tonight without you guys is indigo blue, and that number is really hard to read, but I think it's 139. So I will see you all tomorrow.